Hello, Drew.
Evening.
We just went live, so hey everyone, welcome to the Severed Chains Devstream. I have Ink here and now Drew apparently. You guys want to say hi?
Peekaboo.
Hello, hello.
Today we're going to be discussing our very first recommended build. We have officially transitioned into the beta period now from alpha. And I'm also going to be showing off our fancy new comparison video, which people may have already seen, but we've got a nice new logo and intro, which my brother did, who is actually in the chat today. So we'll just start right off by showing this. And this is basically a comparison of the previous Severed Chains build, like the last major release that we had released December 31st, I think it was. That was the last live stream build that we cut an actual release for. So you can really see, like for example here, the difference in the submap overlays. You can see they're very pixelated, jagged, and now on the current build they're basically perfect. Same goes for a lot of combat effects. This is the Red Eye Dragon. This one's still a little buggy. The camera is not great, but you know, the comparison. We got the Flat Boy over here, whereas here the animations work great. The effects look good. What else do we have? Yeah, this is another overlay one. You can see really like around these pads and the background overlays, just the differences like night and day. Let's see, this one is Explosion. You can see we've got Flat Dart. Here we have what my brother called Oops, I Overcooked the Fish. Here we have the actual explosion spell.
It's a funny name for it.
Wasn't much of an explosion.
Yeah. He also made this nice instrumental version of the intro FMV song for the video. This cutscene is huge. I'll show the comparison here.
There's a lot of work in that cutscene alone.
Oh yeah. You mean the missing body parts?
The small hands.
No, the small hand is new.
Okay.
Like this right here. Like, you know, in the old version there was nothing. And here this is, you know, basically perfect.
Always good to have something.
Yeah. And you can see we had some pretty messed up facial textures in these scenes as well. Here, I mean, there's no whirlwind effect whatsoever on the old version. Nothing in this scene either. Now we do still have some issues here. There's supposed to be a cape. It is actually rendering on his back, just very, very tiny. People who watch the Friday live streams as well may remember us showing off this cutscene with Albert's tiny hands. Still a few issues here, like these rings aren't supposed to stay on frame, but you know, compared to, oh, actually you could see Lloyd's tiny cape there, blowing in the breeze.
And we also upgraded to disco lighting.
Yeah.
What's a cutscene without disco lighting?
Exactly. It just makes everything better. Oh yeah, and then we've got Dart's Transform, which wasn't working period before, we don't have a before and after for this, just the after. It was
It's
stuck
kind of like
on, quick transform.
it symbolizes that the game is evolving.
Exactly.
With the new logo too.
Yep.
So do you have a list of all these crazy changes, the major improvements?
Yeah, in fact, I have it open in another tab. How convenient.
Wow.
Yeah.
The
It's,
GitHub or the news article,
yep.
it should be
Yes.
the same.
So, I mean, number one, the game is now 100% playable from start to finish. Um, he's saying that what you said about the symbolizing the evolution is actually why he put that video last.
Oh, he's clever.
Yeah, clever guy. But yeah, so the game is 100% playable from start to finish. We have one single known crash bug in this recommended build, which only happens very rarely during the Melbu fight if you don't beat him fast enough. It's a sound issue. We haven't tracked it down yet, but we're not worried too much about it because, like I said, it's very rare and we are completely rewriting the sound code. We've got the mod loader and modding API. Now, the modding API is still in its early stages, so we aren't releasing the development kit yet. We do have a development kit ready, but we're only going to be doing first-party mods until we stabilize things. The reason being because once people start making mods that use the API, it's really difficult for us to make changes to it. We don't want to be breaking code that people have written for separate chains. So for this release cycle, we're going to have first-party mods only. We do have one mod available now from Zycronix, which allows you to change stats for basically anything in the game. You can change player stats, additions, items, enemies. You can even change things that are in the shops, because what Zycronix was doing was actually adding presets for the Japan version of the game and the Japan demo, and they did have different items in the shops and things like that. So that is available now. I believe we will be putting out a post about that soon, Drew.
About what?
Zycronix's rebalance mods, or not rebalance, but the Japan and Japan demo.
Yeah, I have a draft, but I need to gather more information.
Okay. Yeah, so if anyone's interested in trying that out, we'll have that up soon. Those are the two real big things. We've got a huge list of bug fixes and retail bug fixes. And we've added a lot of nice stuff. Like, where is that? We got new features, lots of debug stuff, which actually I'll bring up the debug window here so we can see it. So we've got Save Anywhere, which lets you save the game anywhere, as the name implies. We've got Quick Text, which makes it basically like you're always holding the X button to make text go quickly. We've got Auto Text Advance, which basically makes text boxes automatically go through. You don't have to interact with them at all. Auto Charm Potion, which isn't a great name. It doesn't actually use Charm Potions, it just stops you from getting any encounters. And then Auto Additions, which basically gives you a free Ultimate War God, Auto Dragoon Meter, which does your Dragoon additions automatically, and disable status effects if you don't want to get poisoned and things like that. There's also the Battle UI color and other stuff, but those were in the older builds as well.
And like altogether, I think it's like 60, 70 issues, 25, 30 PRs, maybe more all went out of this.
Yeah, it was a huge thing. It's the reason it took us, 3.5, almost 4 months to get this out the door. There was one particular crash that was giving us a really, really, really big problem. We couldn't figure out how to fix it, but while we were investigating that, we were also just taking care of other stuff at the same time. And once we finally fixed that and got everything figured out, we were so close to being 100% playable. We just decided, we've already delayed this by this much. We might as well just, go the whole way and, make a full game before we do our first real release. So that's what we did.
Yep, and then 15 minutes after cutting the release, we found a game-breaking bug.
Yeah, the Melbu one. But it was rare enough that we didn't find it during any of that testing. It just, of course, as soon as you cut a release, you'll always find that rare bug.
Yep, picture perfect.
Yeah, but yeah, we had pages and pages of issues that we fixed during that time period. Actually,
yeah.
Since this would have been the cutoff here, December 31st. We're on the 5th page of issues. Now, some of those are for the next release now, but yeah, we had, I think it was over 200 issues. No, not over 200 issues. It was only 200. It was over 100 issues.
Yeah, so about half the issues went into this recommended build.
Yeah. And yeah, we had quite a few people. We've got quite a few people who've joined us now working on this, including Ink, who's one of the newer people, been with us for a few months now.
Yep, lots of fun. Getting lost in the script engine.
Yeah. The script engine's great.
So what are we doing today onward? Something about sound, something about menus? What's going on?
Yeah, so today we're going to be working on some menu stuff. I'll get to exactly what in a minute, but I first would just like to talk about this a little bit. So you might see we've got a slightly different main menu here. This is still work in progress. Obviously, once we actually redo this, we won't have these misaligned buttons that don't have lines that go all the way across. But I've been working on a completely new UI system that's a lot easier to use. Ink can attest to how terrible
100%.
how terrible the old LOD menu system is. I mean, Ink came in pretty late in this, after I had already split up the code, and it's still pretty terrible. When I started this, every single menu was handled inside of one function in a giant giant switch statement that was
logic bombs.
Yeah, like it was over 5,000 lines long, just this one method. Literally handled every menu in the game.
Yeah, so I fixed a lot of that stuff, and now it's all going to get rewritten. So
Exactly. Ink has been working very hard on making the menus suck less, and now I'm rewriting it all.
All good though.
Yeah. So one thing we've updated here is I did switch the sides of the menus here. I think it makes a lot more sense to have the items as the first thing you go into here. You can see I also combined the, I think it was called list. Yeah, list and discard menus, since they were literally the same menu, except in one of them you could press a button to discard your items.
Big difference.
Yeah. So anyway, I combined those and added the new button text below. I'm also strongly considering combining the use item menu in some way. We'll need to discuss a better system than this design here for that, but I mean, I can't think of any other game that has their inventory menus split up into 5 different menus. So
It's pretty weird.
yeah, who knows what they were thinking there. So another thing here. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, if you go back to the item list being swapped on the other side, that probably can also be a toggle somewhere too, because the new menu code makes it really easy to do that. So
Yeah, I can actually show that. So before, in order to do that, we would have needed to change where every single part of this was rendered. So this background box, the item icons, the item text, the item's label, and the item count label. And actually before, these were three different text renders: the total, the slash, and the current amount. We would have had to change the coordinates of all of that, but now all we would have to do is just change this line and this line, and just swap the 8 for the 188.
yeah, that's sick compared to before, where you'd have to basically copy paste the entire function and
Yeah,
do that 5 times. Just
yeah. Also, this menu, which is now well under 200 lines, without spaces, it's probably more like 150, 160.
yeah, it
This
was
is like,
600 before.
yeah, it's like a quarter of the size. Yeah. One other thing. So this is the current dev build, by the way. This is not the recommended build. Um, so I have added a brand new saved game format, which has an extensible section at the end for mod config, and I'm working on a new options menu here. So in retail, when you click on, I think it's called config, it just pops up a little box, and it's got the three options: sound, dragoon transformations, and indicators, which it calls note for whatever reason. Um, so I'm converting this to a whole screen, and the reason being is because mods can now register configuration values, and those values are saved alongside your saved game. So for example, whereas before you had the config.conf file in the root directory here, which we do still have, but for example, I have now removed the inventory size from there. Now if I change this here, I just have to press the X button on it, and then I can change this to whatever I want. And by the way, it does go up to 9,999 if you really want to.
Does
But
it break?
nope, works great.
Wow.
So let's say I want to set it to 100. So now if I go to my inventory, you can see I've got 32 out of 100 items. And if I save this, actually I'll create a new save. We go into saves, and date. I don't have HXD in my context menu. So this is the old format. It does not have the inventory size in here at all. The new inventory, or the new save system, has this section at the end dedicated to these config values. So
Wow,
everything
I
in
can
that
read that.
menu, yeah, exactly. So
Have you
everything in here gets saved alongside of your save file, and mods will be able to save anything.
yeah, just for this particular thing, have you figured out behavior if you set the inventory size smaller than your current amount of items?
Yes, if you do that, which I will do, we got to improve this number picker control so that you don't just have to use the arrow keys. But if you do that, then it does still handle it gracefully. You can still use your item overflow. So you can see it says 32 out of 20, and you do still have access to all of those items, but you will not be able to get items until you go under that limit.
Nice. It's really nice having that all outside of the config file, like in-game kind of.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's per save too, so you can have a different config per save.
Are you going to put
The
the debug menu inside there somewhere?
Yeah, all of this stuff be uh, will be included as options. Um, some of this some of this will probably stay as debug features, or will get converted into options that you can tune for your difficulty.
Better
When you
gameplay.
create, yeah, when you create a new game, we are going to be adding a window so that you can choose a lot of settings up front. So like your inventory size, um, how difficult you want various things to be. For example, your additions. We will have like retail. We'll have the free Ultimate War God like you get right here, and then we're going to have some harder ones too, where you have either uh, less time to press the buttons, more counterattacks. Possibly, if we can get the script engine to cooperate with us, then we're going to make it so you have to press different buttons. So, like all the face buttons, possibly even shoulder buttons if you want to get really crazy with it.
That looks
Configuration
great.
for fixing the encounter rates and all kinds of stuff.
A lot of saves to manage.
Yeah, and speaking of saves, what we're going to be working on this stream is actually a overhaul to the saved game menu. So currently, well, let's start with retail. In retail, you have 16 save slots, and that's it. In severed chains, you have virtually a limitless number of slots. I do have a limit on there technically because it made the code easier, but it's just an artificial limit, and that could be changed to, whatever. I think I set it to like 10,000 or something, so, it's not something that
Reasonable.
anyone except maybe Doom Metal will hit. But anyway, I don't know about you, but I save my game a lot, and I always use a different save so that at any point I can go back to, you know, wherever I want to, which is also really good for testing, but it makes for a very overwhelming amount of saves if you want to start like another new game or something. Um, it gets very confusing when you've got, maybe 100+ saves per new game. So what we're going to start working on this stream is a new categorization system where instead of just a raw list of saves, you'll first be able to choose like which game you want to load from, and then you'll get a list of saves for that game.
Yeah, the way I tried to think about that was like your individual save files are orange slices, and they're wrapped up in an orange. Your orange is your run or your game that you're doing, and then you have a collection of oranges.
Yeah, exactly. That is a much more reasonable visualization for this.
Which is really good for people who speedrun, do mods, play the game with one character, do whatever.
Hmm.
Corey,
Yes, Drew.
any chance for not only filtering but also sorting save files?
Sorting by what?
Location, current party, plot flag progress.
Well, fun fact, saves already support uh, text names. So, like, the only reason that they're automatically just numbered is because of UI limitations. You can name these saves whatever you want, and with this overhaul, I'm going to be adding a text box so you can give your saves names. And then we will likely add a search box so that you can search for specific names.
Filters.
Yeah.
Now possible with the menu rewrite.
Yeah, yeah. That may come a little bit later, but it will be possible. Lots of chat for me to look at. One sec. The artist asks, what is Severed Chains, a remaster or something else? Yeah, as Ink said, it is a decompilation project. If you're somewhat familiar with this scene, you may know about either the Super Mario 64 decompilation project or the Ocarina of Time decompilation project. This is somewhat similar to that, except for Legend of Dragoon. So it's basically a PC port that is faithful to the original. It's not a rewrite or anything like that. I did actually start with the raw assembly code for the PS1 game. We actually did experimentation with the upscale project. I think it was 2 Devstreams ago. Once we do the OpenGL conversion, you will definitely be able to play this at whatever resolution you want to. The artist also asked, how much further away is Severed Chains from being completed? As of 3 days ago, we have gone into beta phase, so the game is 100% completable now. We're working on bug fixes and improvements at this point. The game, you can play through 100%. There's only one known rare bug currently. We do not have an ETA for when it will be ready, but it's very, very likely that it'll be in a really good state to play by this summer, and we're planning on doing the OpenGL conversion some point this year. The only main issue right now is there's no music and there's some sound bugs. And yes, we are planning on having a New Game Plus option.
So if you're a modder, get in contact.
Yeah, we that's another big facet of this project is that we have a modding API, which makes it much easier for people to develop mods for the game. We can do all kinds of stuff that's just not possible through conventional mods like what are available now. You are very welcome. It's definitely a passion project.
A lot of nostalgia is the motivating factor, though.
Exactly.
It's kind of weird using nostalgia to make new content.
Yeah.
So we are going to need a new game screen.
I'm ready to put my feet up and just learn.
Yeah, this is going to be a very important part of what we're about to do.
Menu system onboarding. Gonna clip it.
Yep. Alright. So we will go to the title overlay, which is where we're going to start this. I've considered converting the entire title screen to the new UI system, but we won't do that this stream. We'll do that a little later. I have cleaned up this code a lot, though. Let me see. Just gotta refamiliarize myself with this code.
It's doing a lot of stuff.
It is doing a lot of stuff. Most of this is just the rendering of the menu. Of course, I mean, it's the old Legend of Dragoon style where every single different part has its own rendering code, and all of the, I mean, one of the big parts is, it'll fade in here in a minute, the fire that you can see in behind the logo here. That took a
That was a
surprising
sick
amount of
change
code.
when you did it.
Yeah, well that's retail, but
Yeah.
it took a long time to get that working properly. One sec, I just need a drink of water.
Yeah, too much talking, not enough coding.
Exactly, I've written like 2 lines so far.
I told you this was gonna happen when I was here.
It always happens. Okay, yes, the input handlers. I think this is just handling the mouse stuff. Um, why are we even handling escape? Oh, maybe that's for, oh, that must be for the, yeah, that's for the options menu, which is going to go away now.
F.
F in the chat for the options menu. Yeah, handle main input, there we go. This is what we are looking for. These should probably be converted into proper handlers rather than polling. Well, we got one F. That's gonna have to be good enough.
Look at all this input code not being abstracted away somewhere. I love it.
Right. It is terrible. Okay, so I gotta figure out how this works. Why is it only handling if the option is 2? Okay, I know the new game code is right up here. Yeah, this is after a transition. Title unloading stage. I love the Legend of Dragoon code. It's not convoluted at all.
Nope. And this is better than the old menu system too, so.
Very much so. Okay, not menu loading stage. Select the menu option. Oh, I can just look at the button handling code. That should do it. Mouse release.
But for the artist and other people who might be new in the chat, there is a Discord, there's a GitHub, there's a website, so there's lots of links to find about server chains and the Legend of Dragoon community. So, yeah.
Yeah, Ink is gonna do some of the talking while I am fighting with this code.
And just some smaller things Monoxide did mention about the recommended build. There is the support for the 1800 controllers. There's a lot of fixes for like plugging controllers in, unplugging them, plugging new ones in, pressing F9 to figure out what's going on if they don't work. I think pretty much all menus and the entire game is playable with controller, mouse, and keyboard, so that was a pretty good thing, quality of life to get changed for the build. What else did we have? All the special effects stuff was crazy. The night and day difference as Monoxide was showing. And yeah, like there's so many bug fixes, it's actually just ridiculous how much was going on. And probably like a third of them was probably retail bugs. And by retail we mean like it was a bug happening on the PS1, just the PS1 just ignored it, but on native modern PCs you can't ignore it, so we have to fix it.
Yeah, it's it's really amazing how many of the issues that we've run into here are actually bugs in the retail game that happen while you're playing, and a lot of it is just so broken that it like wraps back around on itself and unbreaks.
Which is a-okay in the PS1's eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, one thing I don't think we went too into is the modding API. I think the stage we're in now is we're taking like outlines or requests or what people think they want to do for a mod. So if you have a mod idea, something crazy, big, small, whatever, I think Drew or I or someone is setting up like a forum at some point in time. But also in the modding chat of the Discord, you can also post your ideas in there. And that's basically what we need is just ideas from people so that we can go back and refactor the awful decompilation code so that it can be mod friendly.
Yeah, exactly. Sometime soon we will be uh, asking potential mod developers and even some mod users to get in touch with us so that we can discuss the needs of the modders, figure out what we need to implement for the modding API. I'm not sure exactly how we will be doing that yet, but we'll either be, like Ink said, we'll either be doing like a forum or maybe even something simple to start out with, like a Google form or something like that. Um, but yeah, we'll put that out on the Discord server and the legendofdragoon.org website sometime pretty soon.
And Fuzzy Triangles is asking like how to open models in the files, and you are right. The files do have models and everything. And a contributor called Doom Metal has done everything to convert those and get those viewable and set it all up. So he's the guy to talk to probably in Discord if you want to get into the details of that. It's not quite as simple as dropping it in Blender.
Yeah, so we're currently still using the PlayStation 1 format. The models that it uses are called TMDs. No idea what that stands for, but it is a PlayStation 1 specific format. Legend of Dragoon did use another undocumented type, but I have a conversion step that happens when it's unpacked that converts all of them to the standard format. Doom Metal, as Ink was saying, has a tool. It is on our GitHub organization page. Let me see where it is. Yeah, TMD converter here. I'm not 100% sure that he's got this up to date, but this is the tool that he uses to convert those into DAE files. I think they're called Collada or something like that, and those are openable in Blender or whatever.
It's all pretty fresh stuff. Like I think only Drew has done some of that as well.
What have I done?
TMD files in Blender.
Corey laughed while you answered.
Sorry, have you loaded TMD files into Blender with Doom?
With minimal success.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just kind of fresh.
Yeah, it's fully possible. We have done a lot of it, or specifically Doom has done a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fuzzy, just pop into the modding channel on the Legend of Dragoon Discord.
And spam Doom's PM or DM.
But eventually we won't have to do that. As far as I know, Corey, you're going to include models when we get to that point of the file conversions, and then people should be able to at least more easily plug and play those into Blender and whatnot.
Yes, eventually.
Right now it's a pain in the ass, but Doom Metal makes it a manageable pain in the ass, so giant thank yous are deserved for Doom Metal.
Yeah.
I consider like on the GitHub wiki just putting like everyone's name and like what they're specializing in. Doom's the graphics guy.
That
It's
would be
not
a
a
good
bad
idea.
plan.
Because originally I was like, how can I do credits to track like who helps with what, basically. and there's a lot of minutia, but like there are also some set fields there. Like Doom Metal is the model specialist, and we should have that just written somewhere because I also need it for my new outro video I'm designing.
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe at some point, yeah.
What are you designing?
I said outro video.
What do you got planned for it though?
I'm gonna do a really not that obscure callback. I think a lot of people know the one of the poster designs that was put into game magazines. It's designed to look like a movie theater poster. So you've got the graphic, you've got starring these characters, and normally it would say coming to a theater near you, but since it's a video game, never coming to a theater near you. Uh, and I just like the idea of cinema in some ways, which is part of our other surprise coming up with our live streams. But I'm not going to talk about that surprise. But for the outro as well, I'm going to be making it a little more cinema focused, where it's got like actual credits for the actual stream production that we do. Like I do the video production of that, and you are the lead programmer and founder of Severed Chains, and we'll have like additional programmers, like it's a cast and crew kind of a thing.
Nice.
That sounds great.
And it's just I'm trying it out because it may not fully work, but I think it'll be good in the long run because then we can more dynamically fade in and out various concept art images or clips of past streams and just make a whole affair. A really nice outro.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Do you have like a sneak
'Cause
peek of the poster? Or is that not made yet?
the poster, I don't know if it's in the archive, but it's kind of common. You could probably Google it. I'll Google it. You're the one who's coding. I'll Google it.
I'm actually doing nothing. My feet are up. I'm watching I do all the work. So.
Oh well, well, gee, fine. Here it
You're
is.
the archive master, so.
Look, I'm building something, and it's really hard for me to focus. So when I split off to another task, I just wreck my creativity.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm gonna send you a picture.
Just put it in the YouTube chat, probably.
Yeah, put it in the YouTube chat and then I'll bring it up on screen.
So while that's happening, what's happening with the code on Monoxide? A lot of tabs being flipped over.
Yeah, I am in the process of trying to get the title screen wired up to use the new UI system. Of course, it is not easy because nothing is easy with this game.
So it looks like the main issue is that the code is in 15 different places.
Exactly.
And you're consolidating it into one.
Okay, now which one of these render menu backgrounds is the correct one? I want to say it's this one. So I will jack the render method into there. And here, instead of switching states, we're going to do menu stack.push new game screen. And we're going to see what happens. Did it happen? I think it happened.
Did it just auto-close because there's nothing in there?
Most likely. Let's see if we start getting a mess of, yeah, let's see if this does anything. Yes, okay. So it is rendering.
Image is ready when you are.
Oh, right. I forgot already.
Oh, that's great. Reminds me of Star Wars.
Yeah.
So Fandor, I posted that eBay thing you're asking about because they wanted an image to put on the screen of what I was saying. Basically, one of the posters was designed to be like a movie theater poster. So they just took their one of their wallpaper things. That's just the wallpaper by itself, and then right below that they have like casting style information, like you'd see on real movie theater posters. Produced by, starring. So it's got the cast members, uh, and normally it would say coming to a theater near you or in theaters on X or Y date. And the difference here says never coming to a theater near you, because it's not a movie, it's a video game. But you can see starring Dart, Shauna Rose, Hashel, Lavritz, Albert, Lloyd. Conveniently, Maru, Congo, and Miranda are not listed.
Of course. Hashel is
And
looking very pink here.
yeah, that's a really rare render. I've never seen it by itself, certainly not in digital form. Him and Maru and Congo, I only have scans of renders, so they are in really bad quality.
Yeah, Congo gets the ultimate snub several times when he is literally just a 2D sprite, while everyone else is 3D. Just in
Yeah,
case
there's lots
you've
of
never noticed that, now you will never unsee it.
lots of content out there for Legend of Dragoon from the community and like official art, and I think Drew's collected most of it that can be collected.
Yeah, almost everything has been scraped, but there's still the possibility of a few remnants at this point. I kind of miss it when I was just discovering everything left and right and losing my mind and having to learn how to be careful about over pinging the server.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really you really want to do an at everyone for a giant reveal, of course. Like it's okay, but I had to reel it in.
That's not good. Monoxide.
Yeah, this is because the UI files have not been loaded yet. I know exactly why that is. We need to load the menu assets. I do wonder, actually I should probably just transition to S item here, just like the saved game list does, rather than hacking all this in just straight on the title screen. That is a much better idea. Game loading stage 5. Where is that being read? Right here. No, that's the game over one. Yeah, okay, so we want to emulate this. Instead of doing the fade out for new game, going to comment that out. And we're going to add a new menu state here.
Would you rather have all these 20 methods, or would you rather have the nested push state stuff from the old menu system?
I never want to look at anything like the retail system ever again.
I mean, this is just a small sample of like going back to the question of when will the severed chains be ready or complete, most of the code, like it runs, it works, but it's mainly all over the place and nested if loops or something going on that's crazy. So we have to fix all that and refactor it.
Yeah, it's very, very not nice.
And like if people like have ever tried out Unity or like Unreal Engine, like all the changes we're doing here would literally take a minute to do, maybe at most of the time.
Trying to figure out if I can genericize this code any while we're here. Okay, I gotta see exactly what happens, what gets us into this. What is this? Okay, so that's that, and it will become a full ref. Which is going to make a lot of code unhappy, so we'll just update that real quick.
This is the longest part of getting the menu set up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just getting the menu to work at all is going to be most of it. And then once it works and we are in the new code, it'll be so much better.
Is there anywhere else in the game where you'll have to do this much work to get a menu popping up somewhere?
As long as we are in the context of the item overlay, which is used for all of the menus, then no. But
So would
outside of
you
that system,
hijack into that? Like if you wanted to launch a menu in like an S-map, would you hijack into that overlay or would you
yeah,
do
we would
something
just
new?
use the same code that
Yeah,
goes into the inventory menu, but just start on a different destination menu.
all these possibilities.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and genericize this a little bit here real quick. Wait for menu. This might be too weirdly nested to even bother, unfortunately.
How much of that nesting comes from Ghidra versus what the original devs did?
Um, None of it comes from Ghidra because I don't use Ghidra's decompilation output.
Okay.
Let me just, or yeah, I don't use its decompilation output. I just use its disassembly output, which just disassembles the machine code into assembly.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have Ghidra open.
I missed the window. So yeah, Ghidra on the right side here, you can see this code window. It does a uncomfortably good job of restructuring assembly into code, but it is not perfect and makes a lot of mistakes. So rather than using this, I just use the actual like raw assembly here. I have a program that I wrote and you literally just copy and paste the entire function into a text file and then run the program, and it does a first pass conversion into Java. It uses a regular expression to just grab the columns of hex here, and it converts those into code.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is still flat though at that point, with jump statements. So there's no like if statements or anything like that. The main task for me at that point is just converting all those jump statements into ifs and loops and gigantic ass switch statements.
So if I see weird loops, I can blame you then.
Yeah, exactly. Why is this all broken? That is really weird. Okay, now it's not broken. Everything's fine.
Miracles of IDs.
Right? So yeah, it spits out this here, which just has these like jump points.
Oh, nice.
And then I have to turn that into real code. And it's also got, everything is just like raw memory access. So I'll restructure that into real variables and all kinds of fun stuff like that.
Alright, back to the easy stuff.
Yeah. Okay, I think this is going to be a little too weird to get working in a sane way in a reasonable amount of time. So I am just instead going to copy this method and paste it here and deal with that later. So here is where to do new game. Yeah, we don't need to handle any of this stuff. Oh wait, actually no, that is not where the new game happens. The new game happens right here. So to do new game. And where did I make those other changes? Oh, down here, of course. Yeah, can undo this. Don't need this bookmark anymore. Don't need the menu stack anymore. Okay, now we do need to, load game menu. Gonna copy this. Render load game menu is there, so we can do render new game menu and then unload load game menu, unload new game menu. And I suppose I will just put this right up here with that.
You get very familiar with switch statements in this code base.
Far too familiar. Alright, Drew, we'll see you later. Okay, so this should hopefully transition us into the S-item context. This needs to be a boolean. Just gotta fix up the last few of these. Okay, it was just that one. so that should transition us into the S-item context, which has the rendering code for menus already all set up.
I'm ready for the crash.
So optimistic. Moment of truth. Okay, didn't crash.
But is it just hanging on a black screen like it's supposed to?
I did add a background control. It is not rendering. Now, why? Okay, let's pop into... Nope, wrong one. Right here. Which menu? We are on none. How did we get to that? Oh, I didn't set it. What?
Nothing, making a JavaScript joke.
Oh. I did not set it to the correct menu. And before we do anything else here, I'm going to add a handler. Just copy this from item list. I'll add the escape handler. We don't need unload, but we do need save game screen, save list screen, east, menu escape, loading stage equals 2. What the hell is loading stage 2?
In a menu?
Load,
Main
there we
menu?
go. Okay, so it is this unload run. Okay. So what does the unload do in save list screen? Okay, it's just a simple, oops, it always does that, so that should be fine. Except we want to change this to unload new game menu. Okay. Let's try this again. Back. Got a breakpoint there.
Alright, I'll bet that controls crash the menu now.
Again, so optimistic. Alright, so we're not... What is this? What are you? This is why it's not happening. What is this variable? Why are you like this? Okay, this seems to be some sort of state variable. If that is not one... Okay, if that is one, then we do config. Yeah, so that means we're in config if it's 1. And it means we are in... Okay, I'm just going to copy this in here and hope for the best.
Lying to the game code.
all we do is lie to the game code. Why though? Okay, how did we skip the loading for that? Maybe there is something else that happens before this, but it doesn't look like it. Yeah, init menu. That's sound. Okay, I think this is just waiting. This is just waiting for the sounds to unload. Okay, so the question is, what triggers the file loading when we click continue? Wait. Oh no, that's the run. I'm gonna close this because that's just gonna be confusing. Alright, I'm going to run. I'm just gonna click continue and we'll see what causes the UI files to get loaded. Okay, so that's these two here. It doesn't backtrace far enough. Damn it. Alright, well, I'll just put a breakpoint in there. It might get triggered a few times, but that's fine. Okay, that is the correct file. Okay, that makes sense. We are doing the same thing here. It is setting which menu. Okay, I think we'll just have to step through this a little bit. See where it's going wrong.
Alright, I bet we'll get a solution from this.
I hope so. Okay, so we are on init. Now we jump in here. Or not. Hello? Oh, I know what's going on.
Oh, that sounds like a good O.
Yeah, so the reason is because we're newing it up as a parameter to this method. This method puts us into the state that loads these files. So that second parameter is going to have to be converted into a supplier. It would help if I spelled it right. Okay, so these can be changed to constructor references. This will just be an actual supplier. Same for this. And this one can also be a constructor reference. And then we just need to change this to deskscreen.get. Okay. This should work. New game. And we are rendering, but we're not getting the background. Now why would that be? We are adding the control. Let's step back here into render controls. It's because they are renderables and we still need to do the... Wait, no... No, no... Yes, maybe?
Coordinates and positioning?
No, it should use as the default 0, 0. I remember something about this vaguely, but not exactly. What the hell was it? Where is render menus being called? Okay, no, that is what I was thinking of there. Is it because menu stack.render is not being called? Let's put a breakpoint here and see, because that's entirely possible. Well, no, it must be, because this is being called? Confusion.
Way ahead of you there.
Oh, there's a different menu stack.render here. Okay. I'm gonna take the breakpoint off of this one. Why is this not rendering? This is being called. Is there anything else in the... No, there's nothing in the render method here. Is there something really silly that I'm just missing? Oh, it's because we're faded out. And we didn't fade back in.
Oh, fade out from hitting new game?
Yes, okay. So I already did that, did I? I don't remember if I did that. No, I didn't. So hopefully escape will... Yes! It'll bring us back to the menu, so that's already working. Boom!
Woohoo!
Look at that.
Only silly bugs here.
What?
Only silly bugs.
Exactly. Alright. So we have a new game menu. Just, there's not much on it. But that's okay.
So what's your layout plan?
You're thinking way ahead of me. Okay, we don't need this anymore. What we do need, however, is a text box, which we do not currently have.
I gotta make components.
Yes.
Components
that
or controls? Controls?
controls, yeah. I do think, though, before we do that, I'll add a button. Where else am I using buttons? Yeah, I'll just use the default size, which is 59 by 12. And I guess we'll do a resize handler. Wait. Is there a resize handler? I swear to God there was a resize handler. Am I just crazy? Was it just... Oh, it was just controls that have a resize handler? Yes, okay, yeah. Okay, I'm not actually crazy.
Well, do you want me to answer that?
Shh. Right, because menus do not currently resize. Okay. Start game dot set position. We'll just do this dot alright, we don't have width because we don't have size. What size are these screens? This is something that needs to be not hard-coded. They are
There's a lot of enums that need to be everywhere.
Yes. They're 368 or something. I'm just gonna do 340 minus start game dot width and 220 minus start game dot height for now. Again, this is the Devstream. We're not super concerned about this.
If it was me, I would have just put random numbers in.
Just download a click handler for it. Oops, I need to actually put parameters there. What are the parameters? X, Y button, mods.
I don't think you know how much stress that's relieved from my brain from doing the menus before.
I mean,
so easy and simple.
It's the same for me. Okay. So we have a button now, at least. Doesn't look like much, but it's a button.
Oh, that's great, man. That's great. I love it.
Yeah. Cool. Alright, now I do not want to make a text box control. At all.
Yeah, that's not going to be fun. Does text all have the same size?
In Legend of Dragoon, it sure does. There's only one font.
Well, that means the text box is going to be easier to make.
Yeah, however, in the OpenGL land, we do have a proper font system.
Ooh, elegant, fancy.
Right? You've probably seen it on the unpacker screen. That's an actual, like, proper font renderer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And you can do stuff like recolor in the middle and whatnot.
Resize the text.
Yeah, I haven't added resizing in the middle yet, but it's not too hard. Okay. Not gonna bother with this. Oh right, it needs to be a LOD string. That is a little bit annoying.
If only dependency injection.
No, it's just annoying because LOD strings are annoying.
Why are they annoying?
Just because they are not Java strings. Just by the nature of their existence, really. Okay, so we need key pressed. How the hell does... Oh, GLFW has character pressed, and that is very important here. Okay, we need to... Yeah, okay.
The anticipation is just building.
Yeah, we just keep stepping back slightly further. Oh look, they're... Alright. Wait. Oh, I'm in window right now. This is already done. I need to go here. Why is there a space there? On character press. What does this take? Just code point. Okay.
That was pretty painless.
Hopefully. We just kind of need to keep walking up the list here. Okay, and we will need to... Okay, no, we don't need to implement this in control, do we? does it need? Yeah, it does need a default handler. Character press, scan code. Need to make a okay.
How's the keyboard workout?
Yeah, we are almost at the top of the chain here. I just realized that I, at some point, started calling that a code point instead of or a scan code instead of a code point. Okay, I think that's it. Now we should just be able to override character press, and we say,
And strap it up?
yep, equals handled, then we return handled because we don't want to steal inputs from anything else. I guess text equals new load string text dot. Actually, we'll need to. Oh no, it can't be null. Plus character dot value of code point, maybe.
Sure. Force it and let's go. So lots of good talk, right?
I'm gonna real quick look up code points. I know it's Unicode code points. I'm pretty sure that maps directly to. It should. Like Java characters are just UTF-16 code points, so I think that should be good. And I think we probably want to use was it list box? No, it was drop down. It uses a panel. I use a panel as the background.
That Z is reminding me of one of the menu screens where there was like 30 different Z values being set.
Yep.
Good times.
Yeah, the layer management here is still manual, which is very unfortunate, but that's going to be more difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
What is the height of the drop down? 16, so this should be 0, probably. We're gonna, actually, no, probably also needs to be -9. And then we need to do an on resize. This dot panel dot set size. This dot get width plus 18. This dot get height plus 18.
So when are you going to make a real-time live editor for graphics with drag and drop? Or are you going to make a
Fun
menu
fact,
animator? Fun
I
fact?
actually made one of those in Visual Basic 6 for a very old game that I made when I was a teenager.
Ah, nice. Okay, now do that again for...
I probably still have the code somewhere. Okay, so we are going to need to maintain a reference to this text box. Save name.
Welcome back.
Thanks. How goes?
We're about to find out how it's going.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. I'm ready.
We've got the menu rendering, we've got a background, we've maybe got controls and input.
Is this
Putting it all together.
is this stuff gonna translate to OpenGL?
Somewhat. It's going to
Okay.
translate a hell of a lot better than...
Yeah.
Oh, we need to not go back if... Wait a minute. Oh, that's pressed this frame. So press this frame clobbers other kinds
Yep.
of input. That is not ideal.
No, it is not.
That is not ideal at all. Okay, where does press this frame come from? Okay, it's actually a different event here. Okay, this is call input events. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, this is not ideal, unfortunately. Okay, so I'm gonna do something kinda shitty here for now.
I'm taking notes.
It's this dot get focus equals this dot save name return handled. But as you can see, I'm typing and it is coming into the box.
Oh. No one's ever seen that before in a Legend of Dragoon game.
Never. This is the first time, folks. Keyboard text input in Legend of
Yeah.
Dragoon. You saw it here first.
It's a PC game now.
Yep. And you probably saw it here for the only time.
We can make a Linux terminal shell in LOD now.
Exactly.
What a tease.
Console overlay.
Console commands? Anyone?
SRWTZ says, can't wait for naming characters. You could not even imagine how difficult that will be because of the way that Legend of Dragoon handles text. Like, text conversations in the game. Every single one of those instances where you see Dart or Rose or whatever is all hard-coded in the entire game script.
Wow. That's pretty bad.
Yep.
What was their reason for doing that? Performance reasons.
Inexperience, time crunch, forcing everything into their script engine.
Most all of the reasoning is just the compounding of overambition and inexperience. While apparently trying to transition to PS2 design formats.
Yeah, well, they were.
PS2 formats.
Yeah, they were a test bed, along with some other games of the time, like Ape Escape.
That game was legendary when I was a kid.
I do not know much about the PlayStation games ecosystem.
Like, from the perspective of the player, it should be called Ape Capture. I think Legend of Dragoon is possibly the only PlayStation game I've ever actually played.
Wow.
Yeah, because you don't play video games.
Wow.
Pretty much.
You only play experiences like Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, exactly.
So is this just so you can type file, like choose the name of your file?
Yes, but this is also a generic control, so.
I really wonder.
Oh, I will be back in 1 second. My wife just got home and the door's locked. Yeah, 1 sec.
What were you saying, Drew? Alright, time to start shilling all the stuff that I don't want anyone else to hear about. Except I have nothing.
Sorry, I got cat aggro.
Yeah, so what have you been doing today, Drew?
Surprises for the fandom, mostly. I started out pretty... This cat keeps wanting to jump up here. Maybe I'll let her. If I don't let her up here, she'll just jump and hit Alt F4 or something with her paws.
Alright, sorry about that. I'm back.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So basically, I was starting the day working on my personal website, which has needed TLC for a while, and I've been really working on it hard for the last several weeks, on and off, and I made some decent headway, and that felt really good. But then I realized I also need to work on LOD stuff, not just my own website. So I did a few minor updates to the LOD site, and then I just spent the rest of the day on the revised outro video that I was talking about earlier, getting this like cinematic experience for the front and back of our live stream.
Nice.
That's great.
And once it's in a decent place, I can feel way better about just doing regular video uploads to our channel. Because like once the intro and outro are upgraded, they just take care of themselves forever after, and then I can tune them up whenever. Because I might not be able to code, but I know how to tinker and design sometimes.
Well, there you go.
I have dabbled in so many different fields, like I've taped for village board meetings that were live streaming and had to do the recordings for those and the editing, and I had to do events and tournaments and all these different things. I've touched so many facets of media and stuff. It's kind of crazy. Which makes up for the sin that I cannot code.
Oh,
Not a sin. It's all about the effort.
Similar to the Flying Zamboni, I am not a programmer.
Except he programs better than most programmers, so.
Yeah.
Right.
I would consider him one of the better programmers that I know. Okay, let's give this another try. Okay, backspace is not working. Is that ending index inclusive, maybe? Yes, it is. Alright. We can backspace. We can
Now we need
backspace too
control.
much.
So if you backspace, like, say there's nothing there and you backspace 4 times, do you have to type 4 times to get characters back on the screen?
No, it just crashes.
Okay. That's probably for the best.
If you go back too far, you start deleting commits.
Yeah. Does that mean, in this case, that backspace is considered a character as well? No, it's not. Okay, so what happens if I backspace here? This dot text dot length is 1. Oh, it's because there is always the secret extra character in these stupid load strings.
The fun surprise.
Exactly. Okay, so this needs to be -1, and then that explains why that had to be -2 for it to work. We'll step back 1 frame and resume. And now it no longer crashes if we... but it also just doesn't backspace at all. Why? Okay, so this text.length -1 is 9. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 characters. So that makes
Your
sense.
focus change kill it on back?
What?
Did that focus line kill it on when you press back?
The focus line?
Yeah, I don't know, you put focus equals something. Your little hacky thing you did a while ago.
Oh, no, it is getting into here. I think that the ending index for this method is just, yeah, it's the ending index. Wait, I'm
-2?
confused. Should be -2. It should probably be -2. Wish I had actually written something intelligible in here. Okay, it ends in sad. Okay, that should work.
That -2 bothers me.
It bothers me too. Well, that still causes a
far
negative
now.
1. What
Yeah.
is happening here? Does text.get actually return that final character? Okay. Remember how I said I hate load string?
Yeah, I'm seeing that now.
Okay, so let's get the actual string here. Length is 4 as expected. So -2 is TE, which makes sense. -1, okay. Why does it seem like this is working now? Okay.
Did you change anything?
No? I don't know. I give up. It's fine.
Hey, it works, so
Working as expected.
better than retail.
Exactly. You get it. Now, why is this panel not showing up? Oh, because it is hidden. Because of this line that says .hide. That would do it. There.
Ooh.
It's way too big, but we can unembiggen this a little bit.
Unembiggen?
Yeah.
No.
It's a rare occurrence for these streams, but we're gonna give it a shot.
So, it's kind of like the grand jewel. When we do the playthrough streams, it's model size goes up, and during the dev stream, model size goes down.
Yeah,
Kind of a thing.
you get it. I'll take one more pixel off of the size, and that should be pretty well perfect. I'll take one more pixel off the size, and that should be pretty much perfect. If I keep saying this, sometime it'll happen. Yeah, there we go. That's good enough.
Yeah.
And now we can overflow it, but we're not going to worry about that because doing pixel scissoring is not fun, and also I don't really care right now.
Yeah. Is that the same background you have for the configs or option menu?
Like the overall background?
Yeah.
Yes it is. It's just this background control.
I see.
I was prepared to continue repeating myself until it looked good too.
Go for it.
Okay. So, what next? We need a label. So we're just gonna not worry about how this looks right now. These visuals are very much incomplete. So we're going to do save name, and we're going to set this position to the position of the text box, and then we're just going to push the text box over by 100 pixels. I suppose we can probably do a lot of this swapping out like hot swaps rather than loading.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay.
Looks so ugly on that black outline part.
Yeah, but that being said, the menus look particularly bad when they are squished to 4 to 3. You can, I don't know about you, but I notice it really bad when I'm playing in an emulator. Just the text
Yeah.
rendering looks awful. Okay, so I'm thinking for options, we might actually just pop the options screen. I think that makes sense. Unfortunately, we are going to have to close this because I'm going to change this to accept a game state. I'll put this up here so that we can create a game state. Oh my god, stop it. There we go. And we will change all of these usages of the global game state to this. Okay. Now we'll need to change where this is newed up. Convert that to an anonymous function. Here we use the global game state, and then in the new game screen we are going to have our very own game state.
You could just use the same state and just, have fun with the bugs.
Yeah, we'll do the Legend of Dragoon way. Okay, now we are going to have another button here. File button options, add control, new button, options. Options will have a position of 10 and 30.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Stack.push screen, new options screen, state, and what do we need to do for the unload? Wait. That's, oh. That got messed up. Yeah, we just need to pop, I guess. And we don't need to set the loading stage to 0, but we do need to probably fade back in. Yeah, okay. Apparently my brother and dad are in the chat now.
Ah, nice.
Oh, how nice for you.
Get them on the voice chat. It can be a family stream.
Exactly.
Let's do a surprise interview, Corey. How about it?
Sure.
Who would you consider your greatest inspiration?
Oh god. I don't know. I guess they're all right.
I mean, you could say the Cookie Monster.
Never watched much Sesame Street as a kid. I was more of a Barney guy.
That is an admission.
I was same thing.
Oh, there you go. Why is this not working? Bad return type and lambda expression. Void cannot be. Oh, because I need the input propagation. Return handled. That is not handled. Come on. No. Wait, what? What do you want me to return? Oh, it needs to be outside of this. Duh.
That's what this type of code style gets you.
Oh yeah, I watched a lot of Scooby-Doo too.
I mean, Canadian television just hits different, so.
Exactly. Okay, so that's working great.
Does it work if you change something?
Yeah, we should be able to adjust this and then go back and then go forward. Yep, there we go.
Nice.
And we'll need to set default values on this game state for sure. Yep, indicator stayed on, perfect. This is going too well.
So is that currently being put into a save file, or is that just held in memory right now?
It's just held in memory.
Yeah.
And then we will set the new game state to this once we transition into the new game.
Yeah, that's working too well for it to be like just in memory, nothing else going on, no text.
Okay, we do need to set some default values. State.indicator mode equals, I think it's 2. This needs to be refactored to be sane. Mono should be false. I'm just gonna go into the menu here and see what happens.
That's what I like to hear. That's how I code.
Exactly. Okay, that's sane default values. So this is great because, whenever we update the options menu, it will update for both the new game screen and in-game.
Ooh, 2-for-1 special.
Exactly. We're making this game too good. It's concerning.
We have to put bugs back in to modify it. But not tell TFC about it.
Exactly. We'll just introduce really, really subtle script engine bugs that only happen under incredibly specific conditions.
Or who has to tag 5 times with like a specific addition on the same
Yeah.
path.
If you encounter the same enemy X number of times, and
Or
then
random number of times.
yes, a random number of times. And the random number is decided based on how many times you press left on the keyboard.
Oh, great.
Based on what pixel your mouse is currently hovering over. Okay. now what? What do we need to do? We need to actually start a game, I guess.
Oh, my new timer message is working. I fixed it up for you, Corey.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Before it was like, you're watching the Severed Chains playthrough with Drew and Corey, and I was like, shit, I gotta change that.
Not quite.
Because Nightbot just comes into all our streams indiscriminately. I realized I had to make a separate timer message. So basically, every time we stream, we're gonna just enable one and disable the other. It's real easy.
I used to prop Monoxide up on the computer chair in front of my Pentium 75 and let him play games until he was old enough to start coding. He surpassed my knowledge when he was about 11.
Yikes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's a good thing you started him on games first, because otherwise he'd be even further along in coding by now.
Although you originally taught me to program on the Commodore.
Oh.
Oh man, jealous.
Something for the future was the... so you've got the options on new game.
Yeah.
At some point, I think we should do like a lock button or something.
Yeah, that's planned.
For like speedruns or whatever, so that the rules can't be changed midway, like an Iron Man mode kind of a thing.
For sure.
Or for achievements. There's so many cool applications with that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll
then,
definitely do like a locked game state.
And if it's locked, then you can't edit it in the game, and if it isn't locked, you can edit it in like the main menu or something.
Yeah. Hey, Spyro.
And if you try to change a config after setting the lock option, it deletes your file.
Exactly.
Well,
we'll
have a little
permadeath.
We'll have a little Lapdo show up. Don't do that.
You know someone's gonna want it.
My cat.
Do you agree that
My-
Lapto should be popping up everywhere in the menus?
Well, my cat is eating me alive, so I don't think I have a choice.
That's unfortunate.
Like, she's wrapping her front paws around my wrist and is gnawing heavily, and then she's kicking with the rear legs, and it hurts. But it's how she shows love.
Nice. Just a heartfelt evisceration.
And she's got this look in her eyes, it's like murder.
Spyro, we are currently working on a new game options screen. So you'll be able to specify a name for your save. Once we finish this, we'll be making it so when you click continue, first you'll be able to select like which set of saves you're going to play. So you'll be able to have like multiple new games, and rather than them all being in the same list, they'll be grouped by the name that you put when you start a new game here. And you'll also be able to choose your new game options.
Are you saying you can already do nesting?
Yeah, I mean, we just have to put another screen in front of the save screen.
Because it would be great to have saves tied to like a specific run. That way...
That's what we're doing.
Because I really enjoy organized save file screens, I guess you call them, because a couple of years back I got really into Total War Warhammer 2, and I really appreciated that all of my saves were like by the campaign that I was doing.
Alright, bye. See you at spaghetti dinner on Sunday.
Isn't it nice when you're online chatting with someone, but you can actually go see them?
Yeah. But yeah, Drew, that's literally what we're doing here.
Perfect.
Yep, that is actually the purpose of this stream.
I thought you were just doing the raw stuff, not necessarily the grouping. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna mention something to you after the stream.
Okay.
Because I don't want to distract your funky flow.
My funky flow. My funky flow has not been undistracted.
Okay.
So go for it.
Well, I was noticing
I
that
like how you just said okay, like you had no idea how to respond to that.
I was acknowledging what you said as little as I could.
Just no idea.
Shut up. Let me do my thing. The options. I got the dev build today, and I saw the options myself, and I was all excited about it. And but I'm not on a fresh install or anything. I have my saves, and I noticed that the default in the options, when I loaded a save game, I went to the options, and the default was 32 on the item slots.
Yes.
And I put it at 64, and my save seemed okay, but just in case, I feel like it's not detecting your current limit from the config file or something.
No, it's no longer in the config file.
Okay.
Yeah, so it will default to 32 on old format saves, but that's fine. It won't corrupt your item list or anything. You can still use more items than the limit, but
Okay.
you won't be able to get any more items.
So it's a safe kind of abrupt change. Okay.
Yeah, this is only going to affect people with legacy saves. There's a new save format in this build that's extensible. It allows mods to store any configuration keys in the save file.
That's great.
Yeah, so you'll be able to have your mod configuration per save file.
I'm really glad that you did the transition well, where it doesn't just explode the game. Like it'll let you overflow temporarily.
Yeah, well, like if you're able to change your inventory size in the main menu like this, like while you have a game loaded and are playing, then it needs to be able to handle it, right? Otherwise, bad things will happen.
It reminds me of a certain song from Bob's Burgers.
Love Bob's Burgers.
Bad things happen in the coding room.
Okay, so
There's a lot of terminology to describe the way the save system is going to work. It's kind of funny.
yeah, we gotta figure out a good way to describe this to people because I am not describing it well at all.
And like you can say like you can have different runs, but like that doesn't really. It's kind of vague.
Yeah. Yes, Spyro, there will be difficulty options in there. What's up, Doom? Taking credit, huh, Drew?
What do you mean? I'm doing my thing and you're doing your thing.
Alright, fair enough.
I'm not gonna let you take credit for the outro thing I'm designing. Your brother's not even making it.
Hey, Chocolate, how's it going?
I do.
Ooh, Chocolate, one of my favorite people.
Chocolate, I will show you what we are doing. First, I just need to get rid of this so that it will compile.
Basically, Doom, we're making it more like a PC game, and we're also upping the level of cinema to the live streams.
Yep. Alright, so, currently, well, previously, when you click New Game, you just kind of got right into it. But, now, we have a new game screen. This is obviously very work in progress. You can specify what you want for your save game name.
That's so nice.
It has stopped working for an unknown reason. That's really weird.
Implementation detail.
Seems to have completely given up on input.
Oh, damn.
That is really weird.
Did you pause by accident?
Oh!
Oh.
You hit the P key!
We need to handle that. Okay.
No.
First LOD. Okay, so
That's hilarious.
we need to override the P key here.
Like, disable it during the screen. You don't need to pause on the new game menu.
I like
Yeah.
how the pausing is in the log too.
What? Oh yeah.
You see in the log that you pause.
Yep. And we've also got the options menu here. So this is the exact same menu that is now in the in-game menu as well. So you can pre-configure your game settings and then start a new game. Alright. I guess this is going to have to not be final.
Oh, I have a related question.
Do you?
Yes. So, you said that you're already prepared to do grouping. So, like, a run has a set of saves, and then another run has another set of saves. How do you want to handle the naming for that? Like, is there going to be a name for the entire group and then names for the individual saves, or how does that work?
I mean, technically you can already name your saves. It fully supports the numbers that it uses by default is just because it was easier when generating them, and we didn't have the ability to type in text or anything. But you can name them anything, like the file can be anything you want. So basically, we just need to add UI for setting and displaying that, and it's already a thing.
So
Has been for a long time.
Because, like, naming doesn't seem that important to me. Like, how many different ways can we name the same damn thing we're doing? But,
yeah.
I didn't know if the groups could also be named just to, like, my Dart Maru whatever run or something, or, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm kind of thinking, like, in the long term, when we look at these groups of saves, like, each group is a run, like, it could show you better preview info to give you better context of what that save is about, what that run is about. Like, it'll tell you which challenges are enabled, or who your party is with the latest save in that group, or, you know, other quick info that you can just preview them really quick and know which one to choose. I mean, for the most part, people are only running, like, their current run, and that's it. But I know there's going to be several people, myself included, who will have, like, multiple runs.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the other question, are mods going to be per game, or are they going to be taking effect on everything?
Mods can currently set config per save.
We would definitely need the mods to be configurable per run.
Per run or per save?
Oh. It's straight up per save. So like if you go back and load a previous save, you will load your mods at that state.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I do plan on also adding or allowing mods to have configurations per group and global. Global will be saved in the config file. Per group will be saved alongside the group, and per save will be saved. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, like this right here, this LOD inventory size, if we look at base mod, This is actually a config value that's registered right here.
Hmm.
So like that is a mod config value already.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so you've got, you can, if you want it to be editable in the menu, then you can set an edit control like this, and you literally just like build and return a control, and the UI handles that automatically. Then you've got the serializer, which converts the value from its value into binary to store in the save file, and deserializer, which reads it from the save file.
Wow, he's thought of everything.
I try.
I know. So, petition to change new game to new campaign?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's pretty good.
yes. Make a whole Total War mod on the UI.
New Dragon
Sorry.
campaign.
Yeah, Dragon campaign is what I'm going for, but yes, it just
Oh,
so
that'll make it
more
look like a
modern.
prequel. Ouch.
But yeah, new campaign's good.
Awesome.
I think like each campaign should probably like show maybe how many save files, maybe something about the last save file accessed or played, or like go to last played save file or something like that. There's a whole bunch of little options in there to work through.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to figure out exactly how we want to handle that. Okay. This is really weird. You see how this folder just popped up? That just
Yeah,
randomly happens since
it's been happening to
I
me on Windows.
on 11.
Windows 10 and 11 actually.
Really?
Yep.
I never had it
Windows
happen
will just pop up.
until I switched to Windows 11, and it's always folders.
Yep. It happens a lot when you're on a Zoom call sharing a screen.
Oh, good.
It's so weird.
Actually, I don't need to do this with the unload stuff. We are a top level here, so I'm just going to call this .menu escape. And we do need to set game state equals this dot state. Alright, so let's give this a try. So I am going to set my inventory size up to, let's just put it to 100 for funsies. And start game? Nope. Concurrent modification. Why are we getting a concurrent modification? Because we are unloading inside of a mouse click. How do I want to handle that? I suppose the easiest way is just to set an unload boolean. This dot unload is true, and then the render method if this dot unload, then do that. We just need to do it outside of the input pump. And we shouldn't be doing this stuff on the input thread anyway. Yeah, actually, that would have been really bad, because we would have been taking over the input thread to play the FMV. That would have been dumb. Yeah, Spyro's talking about...
Skip it.
Yeah, exactly. Spyro's talking about camera angles. I know of a cheat engine code on emulator Run Dragoon that indicates what angle it's on when switching it with L2. Yeah, we're going to do a lot of work with the camera angles, up to and including free cam. So that'd be pretty cool to see.
Speaking of cameras, TFC just posted a video that maybe you want to watch on stream.
Oh, really? Well, I'm gonna test this real quick first. God damn it, I pressed back. Okay, let's try this again. Getting a little too excited. Be nice once I make this faster. Okay, now start game. This isn't quite right. We have not successfully transitioned into the cutscene.
Did we cut the cutscene off too soon or too late?
I suspect we are not running... okay, let's check out this thing that TFC posted. Alright, what do we got here? Gonna drag this over onto the stream. Aha, nice! We have victory animations.
Alrighty. Scary. They're supposed to be motionless.
Just dead inanimate objects.
At least for Miranda. Thank you.
Okay, so what are we doing wrong here? Oh, one thing we were doing wrong here is we shouldn't be doing the transition there. We should be doing it right here. So... instead of doing all this, we do this dot set true, and let's try that again. I am not going to set it all the way up to 100 this time. Start game. Will it work? Okay. Much better. Look at all those nice clouds rendering perfectly. Sun rays, lightning. We will have to sit through this cutscene.
Is there?
I have quick test and auto advance enabled.
Is it just me, or is there like no rain in Legend of Dragoon?
There's snow, but no, I don't think there's rain.
Yeah, because you mentioned the lightning, and I was like, yeah, wait, that means there's a storm, but it never rains.
Oh, look, there is rain dripping off of that tree. One drop of rain came off the tree
It's just
before the bird.
Evidence. We have the residue of a storm, but no.
Dirt was just sitting there in the middle of the forest in an absolute downpour.
Wait, the reason why the letter he's reading is blank and has no text on it is because he used it as an umbrella and it washed away all the ink.
Yet his hair is still perfect.
Well, he's Owen Wilson, of course.
So, in before you get 29 HP on this, right?
Yeah. I couldn't figure out how that was happening every once in a while before, and looking back through it again when you were talking about it the other day, I still have absolutely no idea.
It must have been fixed by now, because I see no way it can happen.
Yeah, but I mean, I saw no way it could happen before either. But I saw it happen with my own eyes, so it happened.
My theory is that one of the guys was attacking with the dart attack, and it just wasn't shown on the first attack.
Yeah, I mean, well, back when it happened, we didn't have the super fast loading or anything either, so, like, it's not like they could attack, like, as soon as the fight started or anything. I don't know, I was paying attention. It may have been some kind of memory corruption or something, but that would be really weird to specifically get, like, one less than the normal amount of hit points, so, I don't know.
Yeah.
I am morbidly curious what TFZ means when he says that the diff is going to be a doozy. Like, how
Yeah.
much could it possibly be to fix those animations?
I think it's either going to be like one little symbol, not even a number, just a symbol, or it's going to be like 20 files. That's what I feel.
Okay, we did not get the right game state. So there's a... Oh. God damn it.
Did you remove the thing?
I sure did.
That might help a little bit.
Yep, that's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, let's just make sure this isn't getting clobbered anywhere else. Yeah, so that happens in game init, which is long before the start. I should actually be able to completely remove that now. Famous last words.
Yeah. So how about that cutscene skipper?
Ah, that is going to take a lot of script engine work. Nope, didn't like that. It is trying to increment the timestamp. What in the hell is game state 3? Oh, wrong thing. We need game state callbacks. Title loading stage. Okay, so we don't actually even need this at all. So we'll just change that to a not and do that. Will this work? We're about to find out. Nope, still didn't like it. Where are you crashing now? Well, what game state are you in? Why are you in a... Okay, that might just have to be like a greater than 3 or something. Yeah, okay. If we are in game state of 5 or greater, what is 4? 4 is the end. We do not need to increment the playtime during the end. Okay, attempt number 3, 4, something. I cannot express to you how many times I have watched this cutscene in the past 2 years.
Well, if you don't need to watch it, you can look at TFC's PR.
Okay. Let's critique this code live. Oh. Okay.
Explains a lot.
Yep.
Who
Yep.
did it?
Oh, it was me that did it for sure.
Mm.
What overlay is that in? Battle. Hold on. Six F1D8. Um, what am I looking at here? What even is 6F1D8? It's not even something that we have in the decomp? I'm not convinced that this is the right address. I think that should be 800C0E40. No. Okay, where does that come from? Comes from right there. Oh, it's A2 is the base address. Okay, so that is probably still wrong. We'll get to you in a minute, Dart. C1, C0. Okay, Dart is playing an infinite loop of sliding down so that we will... And it still didn't work. Okay. We'll look at that in a minute. C1, C0. Okay, that's the script state. Okay, that makes sense. Wait. That's this outer... What is this, then? Boy, am I confused. Okay, no. That's the first DRF. This is the second DRF to get the... no, it's not getting the inner structure. Am I looking at the right code? No? Is Ghidra looking at the wrong code? What is happening here? I'm so confused. It's because I converted the indices into actual references to the object. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, that change makes sense then. Okay, we figured it out. Problem solved. I have a feeling that... Why is that being reset? Where is game state being set? Oh, well, right there, it's being set to a new game state. We don't want to do this anymore, because those will already be set to expected values. We don't want to set indicator mode. Okay. 5th time's the charm? Hopefully. New game, options, change the inventory size to 40, and start game.
So bets on it working this time?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna work this time. I've got high hopes. You can do it, little buddy. I believe in you. We're just adding to the counter of the number of times I've watched this scene. This is the first time that I've actually successfully injected a game state change in between two other game states.
Congratulations.
Last attempt was the quit game menu, which worked about halfway, but then would end up crashing whenever you tried to do anything else. Gotta revisit that sometime soon. Because having to restart the game every time you want to load a new save file is kind of annoying. You'd think it would be as easy as just copying the game over code, but let me assure you, it is not. I got it to actually take you back to the main menu, and you could reload your save again, but if you got into a fight or anything, it would crash. Ah, 40. There we go. We have new
Woohoo.
game options. And it was only slightly painful. No, that went pretty smoothly, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Alright. Well, I think with that, that is probably where I'm going to end it for the night. Do you have anything to add, Ink, or does anyone in the chat have any questions?
Nothing from me, just thanks everyone for watching.
Good stream. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was good. This is some real good progress. Oh, look at Dart's stats. That is definitely not right. It is all correct, but I'm gonna have to get rid of those extra slashes. These are all baked into the damn texture.
His experience doesn't exist. That explains why he didn't learn anything on his 5-year journey.
Yeah. Alright. Well, I'm gonna look into that off stream.
Please mod that to say thick piece of meat out of 20. Please, I'm begging you.
Yeah, we'll see. There's no actual letters in that the font it uses for the small numbers, so Spyro asks how music is going. Music is going well. Elepri is currently on vacation, so that is taking a brief pause until he gets back, but then we'll be back at it. We've got a lot of other stuff to work on for this release, so we aren't going to be releasing music out of band or anything. We'll be releasing it alongside of the next recommended build. So, you know, while he's away, we'll still be working on the other stuff that we've got lined up here. We've got quite a bit of stuff, but it's definitely not going to be another 4 months until we put out the next recommended build. Aiming for probably around a month and a half, 2 months from now. Alright. Nice code of functionality, thank you. So I think with that, that's where we will end it. I'd just like to thank my Ko-fi patrons. We have my founders, J-Man, 3 months, and Dengrad, who's a new subscriber. My researchers, Zach, who's at 3 months now, and my mercenaries, Vorthought at 3 months, Doom at 2 months, and Platinum Sarge and Milk Lizard, who are both new. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to check out our playthrough stream on Friday. We'll probably have some more menu functionality ready by then. We'll show off some of the new game stuff. And